Today, I'm going to show you how to create a lead in AdminMatic and demonstrate how it carries over into contracts and work orders. AdminMatic makes it easy to keep your leads and appointments organized and minimize repeat typing as they evolve into full jobs. The standard workflow of a job on the AdminMatic system starts with a lead. A sales representative will visit the customer, collect notes for the job, and then back in the office all of that information is copied over into one or more contracts, which are converted into work orders once the contract is signed. AdminMatic's workflow keeps you from ever having to re-enter the same information twice and ensures your jobs flow from phase to phase smoothly. So let's get started. The first phase of a job will generally involve a sales representative visiting the customer out in the field, so we'll start out using the AdminMatic app. If need be, I can go into Customers here and tap Add New Customer at the bottom to document the customer's information and add it to the system. At this point in a job, the customer will likely already be in the system though, so I'll scroll down to Leads on the homepage and then tap Add New Lead at the bottom. I'll search and select the customer here and then set the deadline that the work needs to be done by. If the lead is for something urgent, I can mark that with this switch, which will highlight the lead elsewhere in the software. I'm playing the role of the sales representative here, so I'll select myself. Setting the sales rep gives the customer a point of contact and also lets anyone else who works on the job know who to come to if there are any questions. If the job was requested by the customer as opposed to something spotted by an employee, for instance, I can mark that here. Finally, I'll enter a broad general summary of what the visit is about here. It doesn't have to be too specific. We'll fill in the tasks in more detail as we walk through with the customer. Let's say this customer is looking to get a bluestone patio installed and sign up for weekly lawn mowing. I'll tap Submit and I'm taken to the new leads view where it'll prompt me to add its first task. A lead acts as a sort of notepad for a project. By adding a task, I can note down any piece of work that will make up one or more contracts and work orders going forward. Lead tasks begin to define the scope of the project. It's good to split a project into separate tasks, especially things that will be handled at different times or by different crews. So let's start with the patio. The customer is looking for a 12-foot by 12-foot bluestone patio, so I'll jot down Install 12 by 12 bluestone patio and attach a picture of the worksite. And submit. If I want to edit the tasks or add or remove any images, I can tap on the task here to edit it. This job will also need a drain in the corner of the patio, so I'll add that as a task too. Now let's take care of the mowing. Remember that a lead doesn't need to correspond to one job. For instance here, the patio and mowing will turn into two different contracts with their own work orders. I'll just write down mowing, that the preferred day is Wednesday, and note down the lawn size. Now let's fast forward back to the office and get this lead turned into some contracts. Contracts can be made from leads on the app, but we'll look at the desktop interface for now since this phase will more often be handled back home. Here we can see the same list of tasks we created in the app. Their statuses start on New and can be set to Dealt With or Not Needed, which we'll get into in a moment. At the bottom you'll see two buttons, one to create a contract and one to create a work order. A lead generally flows into a contract and then into a work order, but if needed we can directly create a work order from the lead as well. First, let's handle the patio. I'll click New Contract and select my bluestone patio template. Templates allow for quick contract or work order creation, pre-fill many settings, and ensure consistency with contracts and work orders. Most settings can be left to their default, so I'll just click through. Once I click Submit, I'm taken to the new contract and we can see it's all fleshed out with the template having done all the work. You'll notice this banner up top telling us that there are tasks left on the lead still marked as new that need to be added to a contract or set to Dealt With. Clicking on the banner brings up a task transfer modal where we can copy tasks over from the lead onto the contract. I'll transfer over the drain task to the bluestone installation contract item. My drain task on the lead will now be marked as dealt with. That's the only task I need to copy over for this contract, so I'll click Done. The warning banner is still here, but that's okay. We still have another task to deal with on the other contract. Before I make the mowing contract, let's quickly fill in the quantity values on the patio contract. If I mouse over a contract item, it'll display any estimate notes I have stored on the associated item. Here I can see that my typical patios take 1 man-hour per 8 square feet. The patio will be 12 foot by 12 foot, and 144 square feet divided by 8 is 18, so I'll enter 18 hours for my installation estimate. I've filled in all the other items' estimate values, so now this contract is all set. If I click Modify PDF at the bottom, we can preview and tweak how the contract will appear to the customer. See how the contract is automatically all filled in and ready to send. We won't go into contract terms today, but you can check out the AdminMatic documentation page if you'd like to learn more. Anyways, now that the patio contract is taken care of, I'll click Lead up in the stack view here to jump back to the connected lead and get ready to make the mowing contract. Back on the lead, I can also click Contracts in the stack view to see the contract I just created. Now, looking at my lead task for mowing, I see I noted down the customer's lawn size. This kind of information can actually be stored on the customer's profile, so let's click on the customer section in the top left to open the customer in a new tab. Over here on Customer Properties, I'll click the Edit button and enter that 20,000 square feet under lawn size. Now that information is here and ready anytime it's needed in the future. Going back to the lead view, I'll click New Contract to start making the mowing contract. Let's pick my lawn mowing template and then go down to Show Advanced Settings here at the bottom so I can input the customer's preferred day we noted down on site. Notice how the template preset all our basic scheduling parameters. I'll set preferred day to Wednesday as requested, and I should be good to go. For more information on all these advanced settings, be sure to take a look at the documentation page on AdminMatic.com. Now I'll click Create Contract and I'm on the new mowing contract. In this case, everything I noted down for the lawn mowing has already been added to the contract or is already handled by the template, so I don't need to copy anything over this time. In this case, we could go back to the lead and mark the remaining tasks as dealt with, but since we're just demonstrating, I'll skip that for now. For filling in the estimate value, let's take a look at one more of AdminMatic's features, the Estimator. Since I plugged in the customer's lawn size earlier, we can use that data to automatically fill in the contract's estimated quantity. First, I'll click on the mowing contract item, and then go to Estimator up top. The Estimator collects and averages data from past work orders at various sizes and lets us use that data to automatically predict the amount of time a job is going to take. So let's click on the lawn size on the left and we'll see where it appears on the graph. Based on my company's past work, it looks like on average this lawn should take about 1.34 hours, so I'll click Yes to fill that in for the estimated quantity, and that's good to go. The Estimator is another way AdminMatic saves you time by minimizing data re-entry on frequently made job types. Finally, let's take a quick look at the next step, which would be sending the contract to the customer and turning it into a work order. The contract can be emailed to the customer or printed and mailed. Contracts can also be signed and accepted by the customer on the customer portal. So let's say the contract has been sent and signed by the customer, so I'll set the status to accepted. Now under Contract Actions here, I can select Create Work Order from Contract. This is where AdminMatic really shines. Everything we've created up to this point has been filling in the blueprint for a work order, so now the job can be created with just a few clicks and with everything automatically filled in. The contract we're creating this work order from will automatically be linked. I'll just schedule a crew and a date, and as we click through the pages, you can see everything the job needs is already filled in. I'll click Create Work Order, it'll prompt me to set the contract to scheduled, and that's that. AdminMatic makes it easy to collect all the info you need out in the field and flow it through a job's phases, so you never have to enter the same information more than once, keeping your business running at its best. We've covered all the basics here, but there's a lot more powerful stuff that can be done with leads and contracts. If you'd like to learn more, be sure to check out the full documentation on AdminMatic.com.